It is a Thursday evening. We promised you would be back on a Thursday evening ahead of Friday because last weekend, unfortunately, due to load shedding, we were inconvenienced. So we're back on a Thursday night slot, and this will go up on a Thursday night ahead of Friday. Good evening to Nino Podesta. Fairview Turf, 9 races. Nice to have 9 races on the card for tomorrow's racing, Nino.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, they got a full card tomorrow, 9 races, Nico. I think because they got a work riders, so maybe they didn't want to make that.
That's why. The first race is a work riders maiden plate. I do have the up-to-date changes. The first race, you can scratch number 4, Bold Leah. The track condition expected to be good. I know that Alistair Cohen told me that he'll be traveling down tomorrow to go and commentate in the Eastern Cape. He was working today at Turfington. He did phone me a bit earlier. So the going will be good with a penetrometer of 20. Malasela Kachedi not riding. I don't know what happened in the last race today in Joburg, but I understand that Keegan de Mello took a bit of a tumble at the start.
No, Keegan, yes, Keegan de Mello was scratched at the start. I think he didn't fall. I don't know what happened. I think he just got hurt or something. Okay. I don't know what happened. But I know the horse also broke down in the same race. Not broke down, but the horse was pulled up.
That was Muzieni's, right. Okay, well, let's talk about tomorrow's racing. And let's go to that first race. Work riders always tough, especially when you don't know much about them. But what have you come up with in race 1 as I share your tips as you talk about them?
Nico, just as well, it's not part of the bipod, this race. It's with all due respect to the runners, it's one of the weakest races I've seen for a long time. And surely, number 5, Champagne Charlie, he's got to be the horse to beat on the penultimate run behind Southwester, who came out to win on Friday. So that's very good form. And looking past that, I can only see number 1, Girl Scout, number 6, Begonia, and number 7, Likeable. And the rest of the field is very, very moderate. And I think they're going to struggle here. Maybe Wonder Woman, eh? But she's a 7-year-old. She's at 56 runs. So, but she hasn't been too far back.
Yeah,
Nico, I think it's a very weak race. So.
Yeah, it is a weak field. Champagne Charlie, the 3-year-old, tipped to win by Nino. Not part of the exotics race 1, thankfully. So, but race 2 does start the bipod off at 12:30. A maiden plate, fillies and mares over the 1400. Scratched to 6, Rakinanti, 8, Lady Chartouche, and 10, Sandra M. all come out of race 2. I need to also tell you that there's a work rider change in the first race. Number 3, Here We Go, Joe, is now ridden by H. Tswewu.
Are you swearing at me, Nico? It wouldn't make a difference. I don't know any of these work riders.
Tswewu, I think it's pronounced Tswewu. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the second race, and this is the opening leg of the bipod. You thinking you need a couple of horses here, so both Flowers of Nike and Yamaya come into play for you.
Yes, I do. Well, the Flowers of Nike, I think, is a horse to beat on that very good run behind a nice horse in Eclair. I know that's that horse is from the Sharon Cotton stable, and it's
indeed. Yeah.
I think it took 2 runs to break 2 or 3 runs to break its maiden, and it's highly thought of. So he's got to be the horse to beat. Jamaya, I'm looking for big improvement from this well-bred Ideal World horse. She's only had the 2 runs. Both times she's been slow away. I'm hoping that she shows big improvement on the turf, but and then Echoes of Winter. I think that's the only 3 horses where the possible winner could come from.
Yeah, Echoes of Winter. Blinkers come off. They tried the blinkers last time out. It wasn't really working that well, so therefore they've taken them off again this time round. So 5, 2, 4, and 1 for Nino in race 2.
Nico, I had the Echoes of Winter in the bipod. I took it out to make it a bit cheaper, but I'm just a little bit worried about the draw. It's got a bit of a tricky draw, but with the 3 scratchings now, it comes into 8, so it's not so bad. The field is reduced quite substantially now.
Okay, the next race is a pretty interesting contest. It's a maiden plate for 3-year-olds over the 1600 meters. I found this a particularly interesting contest. And there are no blinkers now for number 2, Heathcliff. And that's possibly what the most interesting part of it is, because I liked this last time out when it ran at Durbanville. And I think it was last week, actually, when it ran. And it didn't run particularly well. And maybe, just maybe, DeMello, who rode it, said, look, take these blinkers off and see how he goes. But they've taken Heathcliff now to the Eastern Cape. I think he's a big runner.
Yeah, Nico, he has run in the Eastern Cape before. I think he's had one course and distance run where he was just beaten. I can't remember the horse that beat it.
It was over 1400, though, not over the 1600. And it was a horse called, I'll look it up here, was Maiden's Cove beat it.
Maiden's Cove, yeah. And I think Grant van Niekerk rode it that day.
I think so. Yes, Grant did ride it. You're right.
Grant rode it. Was it wearing blinkers? I can't see on.
No, it didn't wear blinkers. No, it didn't that day.
It didn't
blinkers
that day.
Came
okay.
Afterwards. The
so maybe.
Yeah.
But you must remember that last time at Durbanville, it ran against winners. I wouldn't read too much in the field that it ran against is much stronger than this. But bottom line, yeah, Nico, I think this is a 2-horse race between 1 and 2, and then 3rd and 4th, so people will have to sort of study their form, because maybe Douglas Devastator for 3rd and American Dazzler for 4th. But I believe that it's a 2-horse race between 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. I'm going with the 2 as well to beat the 1.
Okay, I agree with you there. So we move on to the 4th, which is off at 20-2. A Pinnacle Stakes, it's over 2,400 meters. Just checking up on the changes in race 4 as it's dinner time in the household. So you might see a bit of action with pizzas and kids flying around the place. But number 4, Find Me Unafraid, Chickpeas is on and Compression Mask on. And then 6, Sabina's Prodigy, no blinkers. Now, let's talk about your selection here. You're going for Divine Odyssey, now with the Tara Lang stable. Carl Stratham writes, well, he's been a revelation since he went down there. And I actually spoke to joint owner Lawrence Werners last week about this horse, asked him how he was going. He said, Nico, he's going to run soon, and he's doing very well. So I'm happy that you've tipped him to win, because I think he'll.
Well, Nico, if you go through the form, he's beaten every horse in this field, and he's better off at the weight. He's beaten Sabina's Prodigy, 3 kilos better off. He's beaten Ancient Time, and I think he's 5 kilos better off. He's beaten Find Me Unafraid. He's beaten Master Supreme. The only horse that he hasn't beaten is Barak, and that I make the immediate danger.
Yes. Yeah.
So for me, another 2-horse race between 1 and 7, and for 3rd and 4th, Jager Moon. Just take note that Jager Moon has had 1 run, 1 win, course and distance. So he's actually unbeaten over this course and distance. And I remember it was a 3-year. I think it was a 3-year-old race, a year or 2 ago.
No, it was the Derby, wasn't it?
No,
wasn't
when
it?
Jager Moon won over 2,400.
Yeah,
the only run it was quite a while ago. I think it beat Colorado Springs.
Yeah, but wasn't it the East Cape Derby?
I can't remember if it was. You can just check it up.
I will check.
But I'm sure. Just have. Can you pull up that?
I will check and tell you.
And I'm sure it beat a horse called Colorado Springs.
Let me just have a quick look, and I'll confirm for you. So those are your selections there for that one.
Yeah,
2,400 meters. We're looking for Jager Moon's form. And it was in the East Cape Derby. And 2nd was Colorado Springs.
Correct. But how long ago was that?
That was on the 14th of May, 2021. It was last year, actually.
Last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
4-year-old, and she was a 4-year. He was a 4-year-old.
So,
Well, what I'm saying is that she's had 1 run and 1 win over.
You know why I remember that very well was because I
made Colorado Springs a racing certainty that day.
And I was in hospital with COVID. That's why I remember where I watched the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. So you're going 1763. Is that right? You're going there in that one? 1763.
I went 1763, correct, but keep an eye on Jager Moon. It could, I can't. I don't think it can beat Divine Odyssey. It shouldn't do. It was soundly beaten, I think, once or twice already by it. But certainly for trifectas and quartet, you cannot leave out Jager Moon.
Okay, the rather strange distance of 1,500 meters is race 5. I don't know if they've ever run 1,500 on the turf there before, but it's a Friesenmare 78 handicap. Race 5 is where we're going to next, start of the first jackpot. Here, number 11, Anna Tour, is now ridden by Mpumi Majorca as a jockey change there. Compression mask on number 1, Dame of Flames, and number 15, Silver Slippers. Now, you like this Dame of Flames, so much so that you've tipped it as the best each-way value bet for the day. And I can tell punters that it is 7-1 in the market, Dame of Flames.
Yeah, Nika takes a big step down. I know she's getting 62 kilos, but I know that Ambi Dance is fancied. She's only given Ambi Dance 2.5 kilos. But look at the drop in class. She's run behind Santa Teresa and Integrity, and actually beat Integrity, even though she was receiving
8 kilos.
I think 8 kilos from Integrity. But this is much stronger than what she's meeting tomorrow. And I just make her immediate danger Ancestral Prayer, but she's drawn 13. And I think at 7-1, Dame of Flames is a nice value inclusion in all bets.
Okay. So you make the second choice, as you said, the 6 Ancestral Prayer, and then you're going for the 2 for third, and we danced 13 for fourth.
Yeah, that's the horse that people going wide. That's one of my lurkers in the race. If they going wide, this horse can show big improvement, a Global Goddess.
Okay, that's the 5th race. Now, the 6th race, the reason why I put all your numbers in there is because they've actually scratched number 3 here, Dubawi Princess.
Okay,
late scratching. So I just elevated because I couldn't get a hold of you, and I wanted you to speak to me about what. But I know you put all of those numbers in the bipod in this race.
Yeah.
Here, Cornell Collar for number 14, State of Mind. But let's run through it. Your top choice is Afternoon Tea here.
Well, Afternoon Tea, I find this a very trappy race, Nico. Afternoon Tea at 12-1. She's a course and distance specialist, and she's got to have a chance, but by no means does it stop there. I just want to mention one thing, how these merit ratings are going to destroy horses. Look at this horse, Double Destiny. It had an 88, it ran 4th behind Port Louis, and suddenly it's gone up to the 95.
Yeah,
from
a 95 now.
For running 4th to Port Louis. I mean, it's unbelievable. What kind of chance? This is what Mike the Cock was saying when people are going to do their money in cold blood on horses like this. How can this horse win with 62 on the
Well, Trevor Reed thinks it can. Trevor Reed, who tips with the computer form, tips it to win. He's obviously not scared of the fact that it did run 4th to Port Louis and that it's carrying 62. It's joint favor. It's joint top weight, but
well, I think we took a bet with Trevor Reed once before. With the Global Drummer, a coffee bet.
Oh, yes. And what happened?
Ask him if we can have another one.
Okay, which one are you going for? Afternoon Tea?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying that I cannot see this horse winning with that type of weight, a 3-year-old, and I think it's been running here, so the merit rating can come down a little bit to more. That's what they do, and people are going to lose their money in cold blood. This is what happens with these merit ratings.
I see.
But anyway.
I see you haven't put number 5 anywhere. Right choice. Is there a reason for that? You not like that?
No, I didn't even. I did look at it. I just was a bit disappointed. I saw that the form line behind Pedro. I thought there was one or two that had it.
The only reason I mention it, Nino, is because we've done so much money on this horse in Joburg prior to going to PE last time out that we did. The same last week. I mean, I dissed Japan Approval and it nearly won. And then we had some smart ass coming on and saying, well, you said it wouldn't win and it nearly won. But it's strange that those people are very quiet when we tip winners. And if Japan Approval had run nowhere, he wouldn't have come out of his shell. So those kind of comments are best kept to themselves because it just shows how ignorant people can be. Anyway.
But it didn't win. That's the bottom line.
But that's not the point. The point is the comment comes from, you know, just an ill-conceived comment, and you know, we don't appreciate that. And anyway, that person can buzz off as far as I'm concerned. Right, let's move on to.
So we're going to put the right choice in. I wouldn't put people off. Like I said,
I just saw that it came out. You know, it's there now, and Kamala's on it. I don't know, but I just have a feeling. I like your Stolen Kiss, by the way. I think that's a good horse.
And inclusion. That's a form line behind Fedra. That's why I went for that before right choice. I think it ran a bit in front, but anyway. My horse is afternoon tea, the lurker, and then wide open. I would load up this race. Race 7 now.
Yeah, let's go to race 7. You're tipping this as the best bet. Let me just introduce the race. It's a merit-rated 88 handicap up the straight, 1,200 meters. And in race 7, there are just the one change. Number 1, Kaya's Hope has a compression mask. Now, your best bet comes up here.
Definitely. Cliff Top. That's my best bet on the card. And you've got to make a stand somewhere, and that's where I'm going, banking all the bets. She's beaten We Are Jamming. She's beaten Cruise Control twice already, and we saw what Cruise Control can do. I know we can't compare Cliff Top to Cruise Control now, because Cruise Control only got better when she was gelded, and when Cliff Top beat Cruise Control twice, she had a bit of an issue, and it was over 12. And we know that Cruise Control is better over.
But now over Cliff Top. But now Cliff Top's been gelded.
Yeah.
First run gelding, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And on that run behind Thunderstruck in Durban, I think she's going to be a very tough horse to beat tomorrow. And here's another horse, Kaya's Hope, carrying 61 kilos as a three-year-old. That's got to give Cliff Top 4 kilos, and Cliff Top beat it level weights.
Yeah. Well, that's the Port Louis line again. That's lifted the rating up.
And look at this merit rating has gone up from 88 to 103 for running second to Port Louis.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Well, there we go. Nino's best bet coming up in race 7. We got 2 more races to chat about. Race 8 is a classified stakes up the straight 1,200. It runs at 4 o'clock on Friday. In race 8, number 10, Jaguar Catters, Charlie and Clawboo's ride. And those are the changes there. So here, your numbers are 11, 13, 8, and 4. Tell us why.
Well, you know, last time I thought the 1,400 just seemed a little bit too far for Race Red Lantern. The 2 runs up the straight before that were good. She beat Old Morg. It was a Cape Town Raider from the Andre Nel stable. And then she ran 4th to Jean Paul. Back over the straight. I think she's going to run an improved race. But I do make this a bit trappy, this race. I think Sanctity is better over the 1,000, and I think the 1,200 is going to stretch her a little bit. So I don't think she can quite see at the 1,200, Nico. And we have a look at the run behind Razor Red Lantern. She carried 56.5. She goes up 1.5, right? And he goes up level weights again. He also goes up 1.5.
Yeah.
So they basically run in same weights again. So I think Razor Red Lantern, Kingston Rock, and then I tipped. What did I tip third? Number 8.
Bethel. You went for Bethel.
Bethel. That could be the lurker, eh?
Yeah.
You remember the source from the Mike the Cock stable, Bethel?
I do. I'll tell you a quick story about it. 2 runs ago, I was sitting in a pub, minding my own business, and a guy that walked into the pub said, "Hey, you the guy from racing?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I've got $100. Can you please put it?" I think the horse's number was number 6. I seem to recall it was 6. And he says, $100 for number 6. So I looked down, and it was Bethel. It was 100 to 1. I said, "Look, rather keep your money. It can't win." And he said to me, "Look, I want to just put it on. I've got a feeling." Do you know that that horse was in the firing line right the way through? It ended up running 0.6 of a length to Narcos. It nearly won the race. And the guy watched it with me, and I didn't put the $100 on, but he would have won 10,000.
Why? It never won.
No, but it nearly won.
Oh, it nearly won.
Nearly
Yeah,
won,
half a length behind Narcos. I can see that.
Anyway.
Well, that could be the lurker, and then Sanctity, obviously. But I've got my doubts over the 1200 for Sanctity. This also has been good to us. We've tipped it a couple of times.
Absolutely. What about the last race of the day? Let's go there. That's another classified stakes, 1200. So they've obviously split the race up. Jockey change for 16, Conquer the World, as Joshua and Solomon's the apprentice on that. I think it ran another place last week. Blinkers got on number 12, Cool Runnings here. 2, 10, 1, 16. So you've still got place in your top selections for Conquer the World. You've tipped it fourth.
Yeah, because I know the Epi was taken off. I knew that he wasn't riding. I would have tipped it a little bit higher if the 4 kilos came off. But it's still a qualified maiden, and she's a filly. She's getting the 6 allowance, isn't she, or what? How does it work?
She will be if it's a filly. She would be in the classified stakes.
To me. She's getting 52. She's got to have a chance. But you've got to get the right jockey. They keep on changing jockeys here, and as you see now, she comes from way off the pace. You've got to time the right.
Joshua Solomon's may well be the right rider there. I don't know, but I think he will suit that horse, Joshua and Solomon's, because that's the way he likes riding them.
Okay, well, but it's always a concern because she comes from way off the pace, and they always seem to either take off a bit too late or go a bit too soon. But with this horse, she's been flashing up and been given far too much to do in the last couple of races. And let's just hope he can time the run to perfection, and she'll be a big runner.
Yeah.
I just want to say that my big outsider in the race is number 10, Great Guy.
Yeah.
Don't leave that out of any of your bets.
12 to 1, Great Guy. You've tipped that for second.
Another horse that could improve is the ex Goddess of Light. Was it the ex-Peter horse?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah.
And obviously John Paul back over the 12. Ignore that last run on the poly over the 1300. His runs over the 12 at P are good, and he's got to have a chance. So 2, 10, 1, and 16. And anything else that people see there, I think this is a very like a minefield, So what else can win? Ticket to Ride, maybe. Psychedelic Eric's got good form, but more on the poly. It seems like he prefers the poly.
Okay, let's move on to your bipod. Now, I haven't put in that number in that leg, so I just took out the scratching of the 3 in the 5th leg, but let's run through it, and then we can change it as we go along. It starts in race 2. So here is Nino Podesta's bipod for Fairview. Starts in race 2, and you've got those 2 numbers in race 2.
Yeah, I'm putting in Jemiah just because I'm expecting big improvement, but for the smaller players, they could possibly bank Flowers of Night. I'm putting in 2, and for the bigger players, maybe think of Echoes of Winter. Second leg, 1 and 2. I am very, confident of surviving the bipod with number 1, Indiview, and number 2, Heathcliff. And so in the third leg, Divine Odyssey and Barak. Then the next leg, I put in 1, Dame of Flames, 2, Angry Dance, and obviously the Danger, number 6, Ancestral Prayer. The next leg, I don't know why I put the 1 in. Horses have a habit of making fools of people, so I've put it in, but I really can't see it winning or running the place. Okay. Anyway, number 1, Double Destiny, just in case, goes in. Yeah. Number 2, Afternoon Tea. Number 4, Savannah Winter. Number 5, Right Choice, goes in. Number 7, Stolen Kiss. Number 11, Wire, and number 12, Angel Debs, and then banking number 6, Clifftop at the back.
Okay,
and so then it will go back to 168.
Yeah, as it was. Back, correct, because you'll have 7 horses in that penultimate leg. 7 by 3 is 21 by 2 is 42 by 2 is 84 by 2 is 168. The best bet of the day comes up in race 7. It's number 6, Cliff Top. You heard from Nino. He's confident to take the 5-2 on a Thursday evening ahead of Friday. The value bet for the day, race 5, number 1, Dame of Flames, in the market at 7-1. Right, so that is the racing down in Port Elizabeth, now known as Gqeberha. There is no Joburg racing this weekend. We've got racing in Cape Town on Saturday.
Durbanville.
I think we're back at Durbanville. How did you go at Durbanville during the week? I know you follow your Durbanville racing. How was it?
Yeah, no, I liked a couple of horses. I liked those Brett Crawford horses.
Yeah.
So I should have made quite a bit of money. What was it? Le Mornay.
Yeah.
That's a good horse. That's a horse you can follow in the future.
Yeah.
Le Mornay, Happy Chance, and At My Command. I really thought they would be very, very hard to beat.
Okay, talking about horses coming out, I will be traveling to Durban on Sunday. I know that you're good friends with one of the partners in the horse, and I hope I'm going to see him at the race course. He hasn't replied, but we have a Clocking the Gallop syndicate horse running for the first time on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it, regardless of where he runs. The point is, it's exciting to see a horse that came about as a result of our popularity right in the midst of lockdown on this channel, that comes out and makes his first effort on Sunday. It'll be so nice for me, and I'm very proud, as I said, win, lose, or draw, to be spending time with people that have taken money out their pockets, supported Clocking the Gallop, and bought a horse together with us. And just, all fingers are crossed that miraculous man runs well on Sunday. And I wanted to personally use this platform, Nino, and I know you would too, to just thank the mountain of people that have supported us in 2 to 2.5 years of broadcast, for putting us as one of the big names in horse racing in South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely, Nico. And what could we do without their support? And I think I'm more excited for you than you are for your own self. And I sincerely hope that miraculous man runs a very good race.
Yeah, thank you.
But you know what? I read in front of the computer form, and the comments don't sound too promising.
No. So he's I will bring it up to speed on Sunday morning in our preview with the Ghost Rider, because the Ghost Rider, as you know, tips on racing at Greyville on Sunday. But I will phone Peter Muscat, who's our trainer, and I'll even try and get him on the show on Sunday morning, and he can tell us how it's going to go. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Nino, thanks for your time. I've got to rush off, but we'll speak to you, and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, Nico. All the best, and enjoy your supper, and just be safe. Eh?
Thanks very much.
Drive safely. That's the main thing. Don't drink too much.
Thanks a lot, Nino. I won't. Thank you.
Okay, bye.